Yeah, I couldn't really too much to do today. So, what do you do if you have writer's block or what would you call it here? Uh, Live streamers block? Well, you look around, you find something, and you talk about it. Welcome to the Superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today I'm going to be going through some. I'm going to be going through some of my grandfather's stuff because it's over here on the shelf in my basement. Yep. So if you saw the little thumbnail here, here we go. We got the back, the pick of tobacco. So you can see there's a bunch of little nuts and bolts and doodads in here, and so yeah, my grandfather had this really awesome workshop, and out behind the house, and he would work on all kinds of things, mostly woodworking, but other stuff too. And he also was alive during the Great Depression in the 30s. So, what do old people do if they live through that? They collect every little nut and bolt, and they don't waste anything. They don't throw anything out. So, when he passed away years ago, and my grandmother moved, and then that all that stuff went to my dad, and then they moved, and it ended up in my basement. So I figured, it's kind of neat. I figured I'd show people that times change. so so here we go. And I'm just going to go through and just take a look and what random stuff is in these little containers that I have, like little tobacco containers, because you used to smoke a pipe and cigars like all the old guys did back then. So yeah, what do we got here? And you'll find whenever you get hand me down leftover bits and pieces of stuff, you always get stuff that it's never like, oh, a quarter 20 screw that's this long that you would use all the time. Or if you ever go to get say your neighbor's moving, and this happened to me, my neighbor's moving, and I was eyeing all the wood that he had up in the rafters in his garage. I thought, yeah, get my hands on some wood. And then you go, and then the day comes when they say, oh yeah, we're moving. Just take whatever you want out of there. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. So you never find, if you're getting leftover wood, you never get like, oh, I got a nice straight 2x4 that's 8 feet long. I got like a half-inch plywood, which is 4 feet by 4 feet. You get little bits and leftover pieces, and oh, what am I gonna do with the 2x12? Actually, you know what, this workbench that I made, this came from my neighbor. Actually, he was throwing stuff out, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a workbench out of it because it's an actual rough cut 2 by. What is it? Actually, this is my grandfather's too. Okay, so it was 2 inches by, what was it, 2 by 8? Yeah, 2 by 8 and a quarter. Looks like there. And then this one was, okay, that was a 2 by 12. So they cut that one down. But anyways, yeah, like an actual 2 by 12 and an actual 2 by 8. Not the nominal size, but actually rough cut. So nice and thick, nice and sturdy. And so let's go through some stuff here. Oh, and hey, Safety Doc is in the house. Hey, David. All right. So here we go. Yeah. What do we got in here? So this is all the leftover stuff that's you probably don't use it, but I mean, I have used I actually did use some of the stuff. Hang on a sec. Yeah, so when I made my microphone stand, I had a piece of wood lying around, and I got my what was it? It was a 3/8/16 bolt and some washers. And I just picked it up out of there, drilled the hole, made that, and now I screw my Blue Yeti mic onto there, and then that's what I used in my my live streams outside on location. Okay, so what do we got here? Here's some weird U-bolt. What would you ever use that for? I have no idea. U-bolts are there so you secure a pipe to something. Like actually, would that go around my gas pipe? Oh no, a little bit too small. So I don't know. There's that. What else? We got this other funny little bolt with some little hole through it. What would you use that for? I don't know. It almost looks like it would be like a linkage for I don't know, like a parking brake or something maybe. And then of course back in the old days, they never had hex nuts. They always had square nuts like that, right? So that's or flathead screwdriver bits. What's that? Just some little broken thing. What's that? Oh, that's rubber. That must have been a broken washer or something. Anyways, there we go. And we got, of course, you got like some extra fine thread bolt with, I don't know. Yeah. So there's that stuff you really wouldn't use too much. But I'm going to show you some really cool little containers here. Okay, so that was kind of a boring container. And that was from the Imperial Tobacco Company, Montreal, Canada. Okay, so there's that one. Now we got something a little more exotic. Got the old port pipe tobacco. And okay, it is extra mild, mellowed with rum and wine. Ooh, must have been good. So in here, what do we got? We got some kind of, what's this one here? Just a little leftover thing. That's part of a toggle bolt. That would be I guess that'd be called a toggle nut, where you drill a hole through a wall, usually drywall or something. And then there would be a screw in there. You squish this, it goes behind the wall and it pops out again like that. And then that, as you screw it in, it pulls into the wall. So that's great for hanging pictures and stuff if you ever use a toggle bolt. And here's another weird one. It's okay. So it's this part of it is a screw, like a wood screw, and this part of it is a bolt with a nut on it. What would you use that for? I don't know. Kind of weird. And we got some kind of another weird little socket head cap screw, and it's blue. Why is it blue? I would guess it's probably some kind of corrosion resistance or something like that. Anyways, it's a little rubber thing. Okay, now we're gonna get more interesting here. Now this is a good example of how times change. So we got, this is really cool. We got, if you're gonna buy your tobacco, you got to get it from the country doctor. There we go. There you go. If the doctor's smoking, you know it's got to be good tobacco, right? So I actually researched this one online, and apparently you get right here. You get solace and satisfaction in every pipeful. Wow, must be good. Yeah. So the country doctor. This was. This guy here is actually an actor. He played a country doctor in some show back in I think it was in the 50s, and his name is Gene Hersholt. So it says this mixture is the result of years of experimental blending and is offered for sale only after being thoroughly tested and approved by pipe smokers. Gene Hersholt, the country doctor. So that's pretty cool. There you go. He's lighting his pipe. Gonna get his solace and his satisfaction, his lung cancer satisfaction. So anyways, in here, this is a little bit bigger container. We got this great big long carriage bolt in here. So if you don't know what a carriage bolt is, this is something where you would drill a hole through wood, and then you can see on the end here, it's kind of rounded, but there's like a square bit there. So you drill a hole that's the same size as that. What do we got here? Yeah, just for kicks, we'll figure out how big that is. Looks about 1/4 inch. What's that? 212 thousandths of an inch. I don't have a chart around to figure that one out. But so it's less than a 1/4 inch. You'd probably use a 1/4 inch clearance hole for that. And then you put this in, you whack that with a hammer against the wood. Oh, well. And then that goes flush with the wood. And now your square bit is in the wood, and you can put a nut on there and tighten it up. So there we go. That's a little carriage bolt. What else we got here? We got these great big funny looking screws here. Or that would be like a wood screw. And of course, it's got the old square head on it. So this is what you would call a lag bolt or a lag screw. I would call it a lag screw because it's a wood screw. So this is designed for. I actually have some of these holding my roof together in my old 100-year-old house. So I guess at some point, one of the wood, what would it be? Joists? No. Stringer. I forget the name of the roof parts, but anyways, yeah. So one of the beams, I guess, it was one of the beams holding up the main roof. It cracked a bit, and then they stuck a 2x4 beside it, and they screwed in some of these lag bolts here. So they're designed to be really tough and really strong to hold up a roof. Something like that. And what else? Here's some other weird bolt. So we got some weird bolt like that, and it's got like just a little hole in there. What would you use that for? I have no idea. So anyways, yeah, and there's that. But the cool thing there, we got the country doctor. Oh, what's this? That looks like something that broke off. But anyways, other little bits and bobs, and we got the country doctor there. Okay, I'll put that back where it belongs. And we got some other regular, what do we got here? This one here has just got a bunch of washers in it. You got your lock. Is that all lock washers? Like they got roughly separated out at some point. Probably Grandpa did that. And yeah, there's, I would say it's mostly all lock washers in there. Yeah, so you got your lock. Here's a pretty big one. You can see your lock washer. So the idea there with the lock washer is that you'll put your bolt on there and it squishes this together. So it's almost like a little spring that's holding would be the, say you had a nut on a bolt and you tighten it down so it squishes this, and then it's still forcing it up, so that keeps the nut from unscrewing because it's got that pressure going up. Anyways, if you don't know what that is, that's a lock washer. And the other thing about Player's tobacco here, now this was cigarette tobacco. My grandfather never smoked cigarettes. So I'm guessing this was probably from my great uncle that lived next door to him, and he was a World War I vet, and he used to smoke cigarettes. And yep, what do we got here? And most people don't really know it, and it's almost impossible to see, but you got this little sailor guy here, and on his hat, if you look really closely, you almost need a magnifying glass. It says hero. So there you go. You're going to be a hero if you smoke Players. And use lock nuts. Okay, we got the pièce de résistance. We got the ultimate finishing up here with. I mean, I could go through more of this junk. Well, it's not junk. It's pretty good. But we got the super cool. If you're going to go on vacation back in the old days, you go to Disneyland and go get yourself some tobacco at the Disneyland Smoke Shop. So it is special blend, mildly aromatic, 8 ounces of pipe tobacco. Yeah, there you go. And it's the Tobacco Shop, 106 Main Street, Disneyland, Anaheim, California. It's got the little, can you see that? I don't know. There you go, the address. I wonder what's on 106 Main Street in Disneyland. No, in Anaheim. But yeah, there you go. Go get yourself some Disneyland special blend tobacco. Smoke around the kids. Smoke in the car with no seatbelts. So anyways, in here we got like a bunch of, got a few little brass or a few little copper fittings in here for plumbing. But I think that was more of an afterthought. It's got a whole bunch of little springs. So if I ever need a little spring for something, there we go. All different sizes, shapes, little tiny springs. Yeah, whatever you want. What do we got? Oh, there's a big spring there too. Yeah. So anyways, that's the little spring can for your I don't know. I always like showing that to people when they come into my basement. It's like, what? They're selling tobacco at Disneyland? Yep. And then there's a few other ones here. What's this guy here? I don't know. It's got a bunch of boats on it. So I think this is from, it says Dutch Town Scene. Utrecht, Holland. Printed in Holland. So there you go. I guess he got some imported Dutch tobacco from someone. And we got some other little smaller carriage bolts in here. What else? Square head. A lock nut. Anyways, there we go. Little Dutch scene. There you go. And what else we got there? Oh, while we're at it, I never knew where to store this thing, but back during World War II, Grandpa was a big shot, and he had a badge. So here we go. He was a captain. Okay, so here we go. He actually worked at the Ford plant, but I guess back in World War II, they were watching for those Nazis everywhere, and he got a badge because he was the safety patrol captain for Sandwich East Township. Dun, dun, dun. Can you see that? See, you get an actual badge with an old leather carrier there. There you go. I'm a captain. Watch out. Are you a Nazi? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I have no idea where to store this. I mean, my grandmother kept this in a little so she kept that in a little box or something, and then I took it out of the box and just threw it up here. I don't know where to store it, but it's kind of cool. So there you go, Captain. And the Sandwich East Township around here, there's an old town called Sandwich because there's a town in England called Sandwich. So there was a Sandwich. The main oldest part of Windsor is Sandwich Town, and so there was Sandwich South, Sandwich West, and Sandwich East. And you wouldn't have Sandwich North because it's right on the river and Detroit's north. So there we go. Some people refer to Windsor as South Detroit. Maybe we'll call Detroit North Sandwich. So anyways, there you go. Safety patrol. Grandpa was yeah, he was a little too old and a little too fat to go into the army for World War II. But anyways, yeah. Oh, Vanessa Kitty, hi. What else we got here? Vanessa Kitty saying that my oldest brother has my dad's toolboxes and fishing tackle box. Lots of memories from that tackle box. Yeah. I think Grandpa's tackle box kind of disappeared over the years. Never really did get into fishing too much. It was I don't know. I like the idea of fishing. I like the idea of getting free food and stuff, but it just takes so long. And it's like, for if you really think about it, you really got to like fishing to do that. So, my grandfather every summer he would go up with the family and go up to a lake up north, and he would bring a boat with them, and they'd go water skiing and stuff like that, and do some fishing. When we were kids, we used to go over there and we'd practice casting because he had these. Yeah, it was funny one time. So he would take the took the hooks off of the lines, and my brother and I think my sister too, maybe. Anyways, we'd sit in the backyard and we'd practice casting. And so this one time, my great uncle that lived next door, he was this short little mean guy because he went what was it, fought in World War I, got shot. He didn't take anything from anybody. And my brother and I forget whether it was me or my brother, we had a really good cast, and he was sitting in this, the old, I don't know, the aluminum, lounge chairs that everyone had back in the 70s and 60s and stuff. And anyways, the little lead weight whacked off of the aluminum there. It went ding, and it nearly hit the guy. So he came over. He was giving my dad an earful. He was like, "Hey, get those kids out of here." Yeah. You're gonna hit me with this thing. So anyways, yeah, so we started casting the other direction so we wouldn't whack the great uncle next door. So anyways, yeah, I mean, that was the first way I learned how to cast. And yeah, anyways, lots of little memories around here. And what else we got? Oh, I'm at 18 minutes already. So there we go. That's pretty much a show. And yeah, like I don't know if I said at the beginning of the show, I was gonna explain how jet engines work. And I did a little bit of research on it. Like I know roughly how jet engines work on airplanes. And then I was getting into it. And it's like, this is getting confusing. Like I'm kind of confusing myself. So there's like dual stage compressors, burners, uh, nozzle pressure, N1, N2, and all this other jet stuff. And I never really flew jets, so I'm not an expert on that. I had to study it up for my ATPL exams, but so that's the only thing I really know about that, and teaching ground school about it. But it's just really the basics. Anyways, no jets today. We're just talking about nuts and bolts. That's pretty simple. And anyways, that's about it for the show today. Hope you hope you enjoyed a little trip down memory lane and all the joys and solace you can get from smoking a pipe and stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's about it. I'll be back. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, and yeah, so I'll be back on Friday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we'll just shut her down. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.